We're still in our World War II series, so don't forget we've ditched the 19 part and we're just doing the month and the year. So today's date is January 1944, or 144, the end of the Siege of Leningrad, where German forces blockaded and besieged the Soviet city of Leningrad. The siege is one of the longest in human history, lasting 872 days, having begun in September 1941. It is also considered the costliest siege in terms of human life in all of history, where roughly 1.1 million people lost their lives. The siege began on the 8th of September in 1941 when the Wehrmacht severed the last road into the city and cut it off from the rest of Soviet Russia. Capturing Leningrad was a major strategic goal of Army Group North during Operation Barbarossa. Hitler was so confident in capturing the city that he planned victory celebrations to be held in the Hotel Astoria. Finnish forces also attacked from the north, getting up to within 20 kilometers of the northern suburbs. The Soviets managed to evacuate roughly 2 million people before the encirclement, and for 872 days there was an extreme famine in the city, with massive destruction done by the invading forces. The siege is itself considered an act of genocide, with a racially motivated starvation policy enacted by the German forces. The city did receive supplies and was relieved through what was called the Road of Life, which actually meant going over Lake Ladoga, usually in watercraft during the summer, but they're driving over it when it was iced over in winter. The Soviets tried to break the encirclement in August 1942 with the Sinyavino offensive, which was halted by the Germans. The next offensive, in Operation Eskara, managed to break through in January 1943. However, the siege was not completely lifted until January 1944, when the Leningrad-Novgorod offensive expelled German forces from around the city. It is estimated the siege killed more people than the bombings of Dresden, Hamburg, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki combined. The siege was one of the war's greatest tragedies, and unfortunately less well known and remembered. To remember this date, though, let's take the city of Leningrad, and it's surrounded by German and Finnish forces represented by these tanks. A giant statue of Lenin comes to life from the city. And it starts walking around with a broom and gathers all the tanks together, then it chucks them in a bin. To get one last dig at the Germans, Lenin kicks the statue over, and the tanks spill out, forming the date 144. January 1944, or 144, the end of the Siege of Leningrad. Thanks for watching.